Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, since it is April Fool's Day, I decided I will do another scents from a hat video. Thought this would be fun. These are always just harmless, comedic fun. And April Fool's Day is a day just to, play harmless pranks, have some fun, and just take yourself less seriously than you normally would. So if you guys have already clicked on this video, you already know what the list is going to be. So let me go about to picking what we're doing. Yeah, I can say words sometimes. All right, disclaimer. I have to do a disclaimer with these videos. For some strange reason, people take them seriously. These are comedic videos. These are fun. Do not take these videos seriously. Don't take any of my videos seriously. I'm just entertainment. I'm not an authority on fragrance. I just like to have some fun. And there are so many top 10 lists out there, and a lot of them are really popular, and a lot of people really love a top 10 list. But the market gets saturated with them. So I thought it would be fun to be a little cheeky, have a little bit of fun, and create a truly random top 10 list. I've had slippery fragrances, I've had masculine fragrances to wear to the grocery store. I mean, do not take these seriously. These are just fun. So if you don't know how they work, I have my kitty hat. Yes, I do wear this hat. Please and thank you. You can continue to judge me all you like. I know me saying don't judge me won't stop it. What I do is I have two sets of like random stuff. This is adjectives, these are scenarios, and then I randomly pick, and that is our top 10 list. I've done this type of video a few different times. I will link all the other videos below if you want to take a look at the silliness that is this video. I do try to take these picks seriously when I do them, but this video is not serious. So I'm going to take all of my adjectives, and once I've chosen something, I take it out of the mix so it won't be in here again. And I will be adding more to this scenarios and adjectives. So if you guys have any recommendations or requests that you would like to see in the hat, please let me know. Let me know below. I will be doing that very soon. So the first one is going to be top 10 Conceptual. Top 10, you can't read my handwriting. I can barely read my handwriting. That says Conceptual. There we go. Top 10 Conceptual. Okay. We're going to see what or how or mineral or vegetable. So in this little hat, these scenarios are seasons, are scenarios like going to the grocery store, obviously, like I did before, to go to sleep, go to bed, for winter, for fall, it can be anything. So we're going to pick, close my eyes, and it's going to be go to a cafe. Okay. So this top 10 list is going to be top 10 conceptual fragrances to go to a cafe. That's none too bad, actually. So, also one more thing with these lists, I purely choose from my collection. So I choose only fragrances that I own as well. That's the other way that this works. So there might be some fragrances that you think should be part of this list, but the challenge is also choosing it from my collection. All right, let's go. All right, guys, I'm back. I've chosen 10 fragrances, and I will tell you how I try to figure out conceptual fragrances for the cafe. So I chose fragrances that smelled semi-food-like. Gourmand fragrances, obviously, most of them are, or ones that kind of remind me of food or a food element to it that I really like, or just are comforting. I absolutely love going to cafes. One of the things I miss the most about living in South Florida was there was this amazing French bakery called Croissant Time, and I used to go there almost every morning and get a cappuccino and a croissant or a beignet. I would bring home sourdough bread, and I would just sit outside and feed the birds and just drink coffee and just eat these beautiful pastries, and it was something I did all the time. I miss it very much. I haven't found any type of bakery or cafe like that up here yet, and it's been kind of hard because of COVID restrictions. So when I chose these fragrances, I was thinking about what I would want to wear when I was going to croissant time. Because like I said, I go there all the time, like several times a week. It's ridiculous how much money I spent on tarts and like sourdough bread. So I chose a lot of different foodie element fragrances that also just smell really nice if you are just like on a spring day or a not too hot summer day or early fall day that just smells really nice, uplifts you. Some of them are heavier than others, some of these are lighter, but these are the fragrances that I chose. And conceptually they're gourmand, but they're not gourmand. Some of them are very inspired fragrances and they're not your stereotypical, aside from maybe like one or two, like this smells like this. Like there's a lot of ingenuity and creativity that went into these scents. So the first one I chose is probably the one that is the least you'd think, why does she choose this fragrance? And it's Moth from Zoologist. Now the reason why I chose this one is this is a beautifully complex fragrance. I love that it's smoky, I love that it's powdery, it's got a melange of gorgeous aromatic spices in here, and it smells a little milky too. For me, this is the type of scent that I would smell and wear on the cooler months going to a cafe sitting outside. And there, when I first got this fragrance, I actually wore this a bunch, and there were a few times I did wear this to the cafe, and it smells so nice. If you like smoky, resinous fragrances, but you're looking for a fragrance that doesn't smell like your stereotypical, although I love stereotypical, I can say words sometimes, smoky, resinous scents, but if you want something that's a little bit different, it has that really kind of beautiful animal quality that a lot of Zoologist fragrances have, but there's just this powdery milkiness that kind of comes in and balances everything out and just makes it smell unique, mysterious, and special. And it's a fragrance I love and something that would work if you were sipping coffee, if you're eating pastries, maybe you're going to a wine bar late at night and you're having a glass of wine. Definitely something you could wear to the cafe and would smell appropriate if, you know, conceptual cafe fragrances were demographic. The other one that's more on the feeling of going to a cafe and not kind of more of a literal, this smells like food, but also works really well for a cafe, has to be Oh My Soul from 4160 Tuesdays, London. This has been one of my favorite scents ever. It was one of my top five scents for a while. It's kind of gotten bumped down out of the top five. I haven't done an updated top five favorite fragrances currently. I don't like to do those too frequently. I really like to figure out what fragrances stay in my top 5 or 10, but this is definitely in my top 10. I do really love this scent. It is gorgeous. It's smoky, it's resinous, it's smooth, it's got this gorgeous symphony of notes to it. It's absolutely fantastic, and it's got that kind of warm coziness that I feel when I go to a cafe and I'm drinking coffee and I'm eating pastries, and definitely that kind of is a great translation to scent, like one of those scents that would work really well. And it's one of my favorite fragrances too. And that is another fragrance that I wore a bunch to croissant time, believe it or not. I'm gonna stop mentioning croissant time because nobody knows what it is, but I mean, like, I was obsessed with this bakery. I went there like so much. Now, actually, something about me that you guys don't know is in high school, one of my jobs was working at Starbucks. And when I graduated from high school, before I started working at the tea shop, I actually managed a Starbucks. And I've worked in different cafes and different bookstores and different Starbucks across, you know, all over the place. I opened a few. When I worked at the tea shop, we were kind of, before it became super corporate, we were trying to figure out if we were going to turn it into like a little cafe or have a little cafe-like element. So I know what cafes smell like on top of working at one and obviously going all the time. So these fragrances, each of these have a food-like element to them, and I'm going to kind of explain why I chose them. I have them kind of put into 4 different groups, 2 each. So the first one is going to be like an idealistic, beautiful, almost transportive cafe scent. So the first one is from Majavakali. Oh, I drop things. You guys, I keep telling you I drop bottles. You have no idea how often I do it. I'm surprised I haven't broken anything yet. The first one is Tula from Majavakali. This was just part of my transportive vacation fragrance. And the reason why this one is in this video, because this transports me to the Amalfi Coast, to a beautiful bakery, and you're just sipping coffee and the wind's hitting your face and you're eating delicious like almond croissants is like what I think in my mind. And just this is what it smells like. And this is a beautiful interpretation of just like a gorgeously effervescent, just very beautiful seaside scent without the stereotypical like it smells aquatic. You know, it's just really gorgeous. You have to like almond to like this. Almond and this beautiful kind of briny seawater scent is the biggest note in here. And if you like almond, but that marzipan sweet almond, I think you might really enjoy trying this. One of my favorite scents. And the other one is more of an interpretation of one of my favorite drinks to drink at cafes. So I do really love spiced teas. We call them chai teas in the West. You know, those beautiful kind of rich, spiced, milky, sweet scents. It's something that I drink all the time if I'm not drinking a cafe con leche, or if I'm not having a cappuccino or just a cup of coffee. I drink spiced teas is one of my favorite teas to drink. And one of the most beautiful interpretations of spiced tea, but not being like a spiced tea, but having those melange spices, is Coco Blanc from House of Matriarch. This is a beautiful scent. It's gorgeous, it's rich, it's milky. It's got this gorgeous vanilla note in here. And if you guys have watched any of my videos, you guys know how obsessed I am with Christie's vanilla. And it's just a perfect scent, and it just reminds me of the drinks I like to drink, but it's not like a literal interpretation of a spiced chai or a spiced tea beverage. Just really, really great, very special. One of her most popular for a very good reason. It's just fantastic. These next two are chocolate dominant. If you like to drink coffee drinks with a lot of chocolate or eat a lot of pastries that are chocolate dominant, I'm a chocolate-aholic. These two scents, smell amazing and also have a beautiful chocolate note in it. The first one is from Zyrina Helena. Zyrina is a brand I just have been enjoying and I need to get more into, just because a lot of their scents just seem so conceptual, so fun, but they take it seriously when they make the scents. Like, I love that. That's what I'm looking for in a lot of fragrance houses, and they definitely do it. Helena is beautiful, chocolatey, nutty, delicious. If you like decadent fragrances, definitely check that out. And one, if you're more of a sophisticated cafe goer, if you like to go have a cappuccino, maybe a glass of red wine, delicious pastries, or chocolate cake or something like that, Wine and Chocolate from Suga Parfums. Just, you guys know how much I love this. Absolutely fantastic fragrance. Gorgeous, rich, decadent. This chocolate note in here is beautiful, but the wine note is what just, it's gorgeous. I've talked about it. But these are kind of more, this is more of like the refined version of this. This is really, really good. Next two for conceptual fragrances to wear at the cafe. These have to be fragrances that are warm and nutty, like you're walking into a cafe and they just finished brewing some coffee and they just finished making some pastries and you're just ordering and you're sitting down, and what does it smell like in there? These are the fragrances that would invoke that to some degree. First one is a whiff of Waffle Cone from Imaginary Authors. This is beautiful. It smells like an ice cream shop. That's a fragrance. I've talked about it when I reviewed this. If I have reviews of any of these fragrances, I'll link them below. I used to work at an ice cream shop too. I had a lot of jobs in high school. I was a workaholic. This just smells really beautiful, delicious, and it smells like something you'd wear and just eat delicious foods and drink delicious things. This next one is one of the newer fragrances from Clinique. This is part of their My Happy line. This is Cookie and Kisses. This smells really, really good. smells nutty. You've got that beautiful kind of nut note in there, but it's also sweet and smells like cookies. Like it smells like a fresh batch of cookies right out of the oven, but with like a beautiful nutty kind of peppery note in there. I describe this as if you like 1899 Ernest Hemingway from History's des Parfums, or if you like By the Fireplace from Maison Margiela, or even if you like Spice Bomb Extreme from Victor and Wolf, and you want something lighter, sweeter, and cheaper, weirdly enough, try Cookie and Kisses. Maybe not so much Spice Bomb or Spice Bomb Extreme, but those other ones, just try Cookies and Kisses. It's weirdly like very similar to those guys, but it smells so good. And it's just warm and inviting and delicious and a great scent to wear. Again, cafe scent, fantastic. These next two, I had to have just a vanilla fragrance and another drink that I like to have at cafes. Drinks I like to have at cafes. This is actually my scent of the day too, because I hadn't worn this one in a while and I pulled it out and I'm like, I really want to wear this today. It's from Demeter. It's Earl Grey tea. This is a great, and I mean great, bergamot tea fragrance. So bergamot is what is used to flavor Earl Grey tea, and that's why when I talk about different citruses, I say sometimes bergamot for some people can pull creamy, especially if you drink Earl Grey tea with cream and sugar. You might in your mind think this taste or smell is associated with like this lactonic, milky, sweet. It's just something you're familiar with. And other times it's not, it just depends. It also depends on the note and the quality of the bergamot that is used. This is a beautiful kind of like, if you were to open a tea bag, not brewed Earl Grey tea, but opened a tea bag and smell it, like those kind of like dried leaves. Almost you can smell sometimes the tannics or the tannins in the tea leaves. And then you've got this beautiful, like kind of really robust and kind of sharp bergamot note. That's what this smells like. And it's something that I drink at cafes because I like to order London Fogs or milk teas. If I go to some place that has like milk tea, if they have an Earl Grey milk tea with boba, I'll definitely order that. It's one of my favorites. It's just something that I like to drink and smells great and appropriate for cafes, coffee shops and the like. And just vanilla. Vanilla is a note and a flavor that you find everywhere, and it's not so conceptual, but I just wanted to include one really good vanilla in this list, and it's from La Vanilla, and it's their Pure Vanilla. This is a great scent. I really enjoy it. So conceptual wise, my idea of conceptual for this list, for this theme, was just semi-translating, sometimes literally, sometimes not literally, fragrances that evoke the feeling of being at a cafe, be it through smells, through flavors, just through sitting there and what you expect to experience. And that's how I chose these 10 fragrances. So I hope you enjoyed this video, but I would love to know what fragrances you guys would choose, because I know a lot of you are going to be like, well, why didn't you have this fragrance? Or why didn't you tell this fragrance? I chose the fragrances I had in my collection. So I would love to know what you guys would recommend if you were going to choose a fragrance to wear to a coffee shop or a cafe or a bakery or something like that. Let me know in the comment section below. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.